Hi, everybody. Welcome to the new normal. I'm your host, Lisa Davis, aka Light Queen Lisa, and I apologize for being late. I was running behind. We were over on my Patreon channel with SL369 Crypto and Jill Jardine doing price predictions and all kinds of wild stuff that is happening. In the woo-woo world. So if you're not already a member, it's $5 a month. It supports the channel. I'd really appreciate you to jump on there and you get all kinds of insider stuff. You can also message me directly. So check that out. And we'll be right back with my buddy, The Public Awakening. So public, are you saying you can't hear me?
Oh no, I have no audio again.
You have
Can
no
you hear me?
audio of me?
I have nothing.
You have
I can't hear
nothing of
you.
me.
Oh,
You can't hear me. I
this
don't
is
know what's going on.
incredible.
So you
I
guys
can't
give us
hear
a
you.
5x5 in the
Oh
chat
my
if you can
goodness.
hear me.
Let me try and jump back out and come back in. Sorry, everybody.
He was having trouble
Don't know what's
earlier.
going on. I can't hear a thing. Wait, no,
We're not
Wi-Fi
sure.
is right. Everything's good.
I can hear public. Give us a 1 if you can hear me. Give us a 2 if you can hear public. Maybe give us a 1,
I got
2
nothing.
if you
I'm
can
going
hear
to come
both
back
of
out
us.
and come back in if you can hear me.
Yeah, Polly can hear both of us. Just really weird. Typically, we do not have trouble hearing public, but yeah, thanks, Jim. 5x5, Hankowitz, 1, 2, 1, 2. Jim says 1, 2, both. So it's just public that can't hear us. It would make it really hard to have a conversation if he can't hear us. Chris says 1, 2. Ron says 1, 2. Munchie says reverb. So that's interesting that he's hearing reverb. Strong shirt, Lisa. Thank you. One of my patrons sent this to me. I really appreciate it. Very sweet. Sign language. That would be cool if I knew how to do sign language. I'm actually learning some sign language through my homeschooling. Classical Conversations, which is the homeschool program that we're doing, uses sign language with our so that's how they teach the kids. They use a lot of songs and then they use sign language, which I'm a natural hand talker, which you guys have probably noticed when I'm talking. And we use a lot of sign language. So we like use A and different things. We use R. We were doing Romulus and Remus on our history the other day. It was really interesting. Old Pukin Dog says he can read lips. Oh, see, even this says device cannot connect. I don't know what's wrong with his Wi-Fi. Yes, Jim, I saw the story about the fake signer, and she actually had a lot of felonies or something at the police presser. Yeah, that was pretty terrible. I may have to bring one of you guys on if I can't get public to come on. Long Shadow, good to see you. The new news network is not without trouble, that's for sure. Mark Williams says hello to everybody. Is anybody else super tired today? I'm exhausted today. I don't know what's going on. Happy Wednesday. Cool shirt. Thank you, Habanero. That's sweet. Okay, public's trying one more time to come in. If not, I might just share some woo-woo of my own. I wish I could share my text messages. I'm not able to pull up my text messages between public and I on my computer for some reason. but I can't. I think because he has an Android, but I can on my phone. But then I have to share everything. Oh my gosh, I think that's my work.
I'm back.
But I can on. I can hear myself.
Can you hear me though?
I can hear you.
All right, we are in. Sorry about that. 2 restarts. Switched around a couple Wi-Fi frequencies. Right as we were talking about what we were talking about right before we came on air, huh? Who's what and who's where, remember? Really? Is that a coincidence or what?
Mm-hmm.
Jeez. Okay, sorry, people. We'll be good. Please let me just finish the show.
All the 3-letter agencies.
Crazy stuff, guys. I'm using a brand new MacBook
Okay, here's
Air.
the other
Never
thing.
crashes.
People think that I'm being paranoid or whatever. I jumped in and asked, today was the last day to buy tickets for the Dallas meetup. And so I went we have several group chats, and the Litecoin fam has a group chat. And so I went in there and I said, hey, we've got just a couple hours, or maybe it was the last hour. And I went in and posted the ticket sales, and I was like, would you guys please share? And one of my friends, somebody I have a lot of respect for, shared it. And so you go in and you can see like who retweeted it. And so I went and looked and saw who retweeted it. And then it says, they're following you, following you. And then it was like, not following you. And I was like, so I messaged that person and I was like, hey, thanks for retweeting. Cause I always want to say thanks to people that retweet stuff and support what I'm doing and all that. Like I appreciate, I think it's cool to tell people thank you and support what they're doing. And this person's also doing meetups. And so I was like, I support what they're doing. So I was like, hey, thanks for retweeting that. I'm really supporting what you're doing. I'm mentioning your stuff on my show. Did I do something to offend you? I noticed you unfollowed me. Like, what's up? And they were like, thanks for pointing it out. No, I did not unfollow you. But this has happened to me before. Thanks for sending me a message. And so I was like, okay, we are not imagining this. This whole shadow banning, things being blocked, things being difficult to connect with, you not seeing things. There was also a post and somebody memed it. The whole point of creating memes was to try to bypass these algorithms. I don't know if you guys were, I think most people that watch our show are aware of that, but I mean, that's one of those things. Like, do you think that kind of stuff is going to come out to the normies? Are the normies going to find out about this? Like, oh, that's why they created memes.
I would. It's the information's there, and we learned about that quite a while ago. Is it going to be? Well, it's out there, right? The information's out there. So there's lots
of information out there, but will people know about it? Like, this was one example.
I think it's everyone's choice to know, right?
A meme or an image that was created. And this is one of our friends that is in the chat a lot, Serbian Mike. And he's like, where have I heard and seen this before? For 8 years, Zach Voorhees, a senior software engineer at Google, said he could no longer live with his conscience. He revealed 950 pages that expose the agenda of Google. And he says, you know who manipulates mankind by hiding certain information and imposing other information. They blacklist thousands of websites.
Sure.
So they use these images or memes to try to get the information out there. Yeah. So, but then people are like, oh, that's ridiculous.
Well, I think if maybe part of the waking up, part of the awakening that's happening, they're going to have to make a couple other connections, possibly, to in order to tie it all together, maybe, 1 or 2 or maybe even 3 of these different, coincidences when you're not looking at them together all separately, it's, oh, it's technology. Oh, it happens. Oh, it dropped a call. Everyone's dropped a call on their phone when they're somewhere or going somewhere or driving somewhere. But when you have it compiled in front of you and all in one place, and you say, look, this, and this isn't a coincidence. These three things equal this. Maybe that's going to be, one way that people are going to have to learn about these things.
Was one of the texts that I sent you, and I said, we knew this, but they're admitting it.
Oh, yeah.
I wish I could share my texts on the computer. Wasn't that recently?
Yes, that was just, what was that? That was, hold on, I'll see in 1 second here. We text a lot, people. There's a lot to scroll back through here. We knew this. I remember that.
Yeah, I was like, oh, well, at least they're saying it. We knew this, but.
Oh, boy.
Oh, we already knew this. Okay. Here it is. Or wait, was it the one before this or after it? It was the, we have to probably really watch our words on this, but I'm going to share it. Hold on.
Go for it.
This got you a visit from the welcoming committee.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that day.
Yes. So.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
So this talks about, you guys can read that day. They talk about this and they say that basically the records were requested. And earlier, I don't know if you guys remember, Amy had found an article that some 3-letter agencies had put out there publicly that they were working with carriers, phone carriers, to intercept the great infection, false information, and that if you were texting false information, they were going to intercept that. So they were telling the public that they were capturing your text messages. And we know that.
And that's not even in a public forum. That's private. That's private conversation between you and I or whomever. Yeah. Yeah.
And we know that they had the pictures that you sent me printed out and they handed them to you, and they're now missing off my phone. And this is specifically now, this article comes out talking about that day where you were at this location. And they're admitting that there are records that they, where is it? The commission demanded highly sensitive network and user data from social media sites and forums such as Gab, Parler, 4chan, Chan, 8kun, and the Donald Win. All phone records concerning the time, location, and duration of calls, including the content of texts, have been demanded from AT&T, Sprint, T-Mobile, and Verizon. All communications and documents from between White House staff and dozens of outside Republican influencers have been demanded. The level of obscurity of these contacts extend all the way down to gay rights activist Brandon Straka, I don't know who that is. InfoWars host Owen, whatever, Black MAGA rapper Bryson Gray. So they're admitting all of this. Anyway.
That they're just gathering up our personal information. I mean, some of this maybe was put out publicly on social media and different places, but
some of it was people tweeted pictures and shared some, but this is saying that they has been demanded from the carriers.
Well, that's kind of a weird thing there, because just about everybody knows that just about every app every social media platform, they all have backdoors built in for the agencies. The agencies don't even need warrants or anything else. They can just go in the back door in the software and do anything they want. And that's not only taking things from you and intercepting your messages, that's removing things from your personal devices. And unfortunately, that can also be putting things on your devices. And we've heard enough about that lately. That's scary. You know, they could
So there was
put things on your devices that aren't nice, you know, bad
that's
things.
in, I don't know if it was one of my patrons or it was somebody that's in our community that said something about like they were like on something or something, and they like went to go log into their computer and their Photoshop was up on their computer and they didn't do it. And I
That's
can't
not good.
remember who it was now, but they were like, it freaked them out.
Yep. Yep. They have backdoors to get into any cell phone. They have backdoors to get into any device, basically. That's part of this, you know, I've read part of the deals that these big carriers and big manufacturers of devices and whatnot, they have all these, you know, secret handshake deals with whomever to give away whatever they want. The rules are different. What we think the rules are about privacy and everything like this, that's just what's said out in public to keep us happy. That's not actually what the rules are. That's not what actually happens. It's just what they tell you. You know, oh no, you have, you know, rights and your speech is protected and blah blah blah. You know, except if we don't like you, except if you're in New Jersey, except if you happen to vote for one party over the other.
Mm-hmm.
It's, you know, it's a little more pervasive than some of that too. I'm not the only one who can no longer send links to people a lot of times on, even through my own phone.
Well, it's so funny because we don't even try to call each other anymore because we can't. You know, my son can't call me and my mom and I can't call each other. Like, it's interesting that we've just kind of stopped trying.
Right.
We know we can text each other, but anyway.
I get screenshots of links that I'm supposed to go look up. Yeah, you know, my mom, when she wants to send me something or show me something that she finds an article or whatever, she can't actually click share and send the link. So she literally takes a screenshot with her phone and texts me the screenshot. That's, you know, I guess at that point maybe it becomes like a meme and it's a little harder to pick up on what the content is, possibly. Like, you know what I mean? But yeah, it's getting a little crazy at this point. Calls dropped, delays. I'll have, I'll be sitting here, and even when I'm, you know, on my home Wi-Fi or out using, you know, roaming or data or anything like this, I won't get any text, calls, emails, or messages for quite some time. And then all of a sudden, an hour later, 15 minutes later, 20 minutes later, 2 hours later, whatever it is, boom, 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 everything pops back up all at the same time. I don't have any proof, but I get the feeling and the idea that it's being sifted through first. Maybe some things have to go through like a manual, you know, look-see, and so that there's a human on the other end looking at it. Yeah, who knows? That's the feeling I get.
That happened the other day with my husband and I sent him something, and then, like, I don't know, it was a long time, and then I can't remember what it was, like hours later, and he's like, this just, and I had said something to him about, I was like, yeah, I sent that to you, whatever. He's like, you never sent me anything, whatever. He's like, this just came through. And it's like, when I mentioned it, then it pops up.
I've had that happen several times.
Okay, that was weird, you know.
Several times just recently. I think I had the same conversation with somebody just a couple days ago.
Very strange indeed.
Yeah. I mean, is what we're saying that dangerous? I mean,
that's what I'm thinking. Like,
really,
little old me.
I'm not that interesting. I'm really not.
Yeah.
I'm in my home most of the time. I'm with my children, taking care of the kids, you know, being the single dad, and I'm not that interesting. I don't go to secret meetings. I don't have friends whom I have lots of friends, but I don't even have time to talk with people.
Well, I'm also having this thing lately on my phone that says, and I can't remember what it says, but it says something like server trying to connect.
Mm-hmm.
And it's either says details or cancel. And I'm like, what? And I just hit cancel and I just kind of ignored it for a while. And then I showed my husband the other day, he's like, something is trying to connect with your phone.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, he's like, is it just at the house? I'm like, no, I can be anywhere. And something else is trying to connect with my phone.
I've almost stopped using my own home Wi-Fi. I was who was it? Cliff High was talking the other day that he doesn't use his own Wi-Fi's at home, and he only connects. No, I'm sorry. That was an old John Mack. You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah. Oh Lord, that telegram has been
on fire.
Disturbing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was saying, as being one of the preeminent hackers, computer people in the world, he was saying he doesn't connect to any Wi-Fi anywhere ever, no matter what. He says it's much safer just to use the regular, data on your cell phone.
Hardwire or
no, well, with his phone specifically, he was talking about. I'm not sure about the computers and stuff like that, but
so he just uses data,
regular data, yeah.
Okay.
Because they can put stuff in your router in your home from somewhere else. They can load programs onto that. That's like its own little computer. We got to be. We should teach ourselves maybe sometimes a little better as what these devices are. These are little computers. This isn't just a router that simply acts as a bypass or acts as a feed. They can put tracking software on there. They can put bugs in there. They can put viruses in there. They can put bad stuff on there and make it go on your devices and stuff like that. How do you think a portion of these people who are getting caught up in having let's just say dirty pictures on their phone or something like that, and these people are adamant, no, I've never done anything like that, I absolutely not, this is not right. I'm sure some of them do have these things on their phone, but I'm sure a lot of them didn't have them on their phone and had nothing to do with it. And they were put on their phones and they were put on their devices to make them look bad.
This brings me to that person, John M. And I have always been adamant about not liking him, all that, because I watched the Netflix documentary about him. You have to remember who funds and owns Netflix, which I believe is an Obama or at least a partnership or something is what I think it is.
Or a shadow company.
Or a shadow company, something like that. Yeah.
Call it what it is.
And so would there be, and this is all speculation, but would there be a drive or a narrative to make him look like a bad guy, to discredit him?
Sure.
And put out a documentary that discredits him.
Sure.
So now it's like question everything. You know what I mean?
Smear campaign that's a long tactic used, hundreds,
well, and when you talk
thousands
about
of years.
Michael Jackson, was that a smear campaign as well?
I certainly believe so.
I don't know. I just think we need to question everything multiple times. I don't know.
Up, down, left, and right. I completely agree.
Definitely makes me question everything.
It's one of those things where it's, a year ago, I wouldn't have thought that we would have been in the position we are now. I really wouldn't have. So we do have to question everything. It's what it is. And, Netflix here, pure evil, hands down, prayers up, Nancy Iceman. This is, what did Netflix just have on? Not that long ago. Didn't they have
that little girl thing?
Yeah, like kiddie porn. Like, didn't they have that? I mean, gross.
I didn't see it, but I heard about it, and we were talking about it last night. With Satoshi Shawn was talking about it, and he said they took it off, and then but then I guess they still have it on, but only in France or something like that. I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, I guess because that's cool in France.
I don't know.
It's
Macron's awfully mad at Sleepy Joe, so I'm okay with that.
so they leave it on over there. Have you seen lately? There's been some short clips on the tube going around. There's all the books, especially here in the United States, that children are coming home with, 4th grade, 5th grade, 6th grade, some of the content in these books.
Yep.
This is flat up, child P word. That is what this is.
And the moms are mama bearing it. I love it. The moms are going to school and they're like, if you don't want me to say these words, and don't put these books in my children's school.
Yeah.
And I love it.
Yeah. They're reading these paragraphs over and over again, flat out being extremely explicit, like point blank. This is like an old, an old, what was that dirty the dirty, like a Hustler magazine. It was just it's raunchy. It's raunchy. Yeah. There's nothing tasteful about it. There's nothing. And these are 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th graders, the high school children. Wait till you some of the paragraphs that the moms were standing up in front of the school board meetings.
Think of what this is, once again, the Great Awakening, what the Great Infection is exposing. These children have been at school that their parents are now watching and listening. The kid is in the other room on a Skype call. The parents are hearing, they're like, what are you reading? What's going on in there? I would have never known that Cannon is sitting in the other room and the teacher's like, the 1 hour a week we got instruction from the teacher. She's like, oh, good. You guys are here. Okay. Everybody got your pencil and paper. And I'm like, oh, thank God. Finally, we have some instruction from the teacher. And she puts a YouTube video on for them to draw a snow globe. I was like, are you kidding me? That's the instruction we're getting from public education during the lockdown? Like, you got to be kidding me.
We used to have film strips back in the day, and they were just more for fun and kind of half-hearted education. But we're in a time now where the grades for a lot of children are falling through the floor. Test scores are not where they used to be at all with this. Morale isn't where it used to be, and I think we should maybe have some educational programming that's going to be actually educational. But yeah, I mean, to learn how to draw a snow globe.
No, it was insane. So, okay, I'm trying to find this. I know I shared it, and I don't see it. Charles Hoskins has made this announcement and started this foundation where he is reinventing math. I need someone way smarter than me to explain this to me.
What do you got?
Did you see this? Well, you're not on Twitter, so you don't even know about this.
No, I'm no longer allowed on Twitter.
I know I shared this because I was like, someone help me. And I tried to watch it was this morning, so it's probably way back on my Twitter feed. So he talks about how mathematicians are created and live and why it peters out. And it was really interesting. And he's starting this foundation for the Hoskins Center for Mathematics. Is really, really interesting. And he's talking about how important it is to start this foundation so that when he passes away, it can be perpetuated. Maybe I can get Uncle Cliff to come on and talk about it.
What is this one?
It was so interesting. So he's trying, I'm wondering if it can be like we can get rid of woke math, maybe. And this might be, the new future. And he does talk about using blockchain in it. It was actually really exciting. So
Hoskins is very interesting. I'm just reading it now. Yeah.
is really, other than them wearing face diapers. I don't know why they're wearing face diapers, but
have you seen any of the pictures coming out now from the Emmys or whatever that gala show that they put on that just happened? Mm-hmm. They're all packed in together. They're all inside. No one's wearing their diapers. Mm-hmm. And then they're, going back to the memes. There's these great memes going out now.
There's great memes that show that. They show the Met Gala. They mm-hmm. also show all these football stadiums full of people. And then they show children sitting in desks apart with face diapers on. They're like, what's wrong with this picture? Wake up, people.
I thought it was one or the other. I thought it was, if you couldn't be 6 feet apart, then you were supposed to wear your diaper. Mm-hmm. But they have them 6 feet apart and diapered up.
No, it's so ridiculous.
I saw a text that came a message that came through a minute ago from Jim Montgomery here. It said, any thoughts on the Land of the Lost, the old Saturday morning show that used to be on? I don't know. Do you remember that one? Really weird Muppets. I always thought it was maybe a Muppet show, but it's not the Muppets, and it was just really weird. They have portals, crystals, tunnels, reptilians. It was. I vaguely remember it now, Jim. I'm gonna have to go back and maybe watch some. I'm gonna watch up on some of that tonight. But just from memory, yeah, they have all sorts of things that are of topics of conversation now. All in that, maybe we should look into that.
I might be too old for Land of the Lost. I don't know.
Probably not.
There were periods of time where we did not have television reception where we lived. Nana had us living in the middle of nowhere. So,
well, do you remember like Schoolhouse Rocks and Consumption Junction? And
I did. Yeah,
okay.
I remember.
I think it was about the same time.
No,
it was about the same time as that. So it's not too.
That was like Sesame Street stuff. Yeah, we were at school Tuesday, and the teacher started doing something about Sesame Street and with Grover, and Cannon was like, I don't know what that is. And the other kids knew what it was. And I was like, I'm sorry, we don't have TV. He's never watched Sesame Street, so I'm really sorry.
I used to love Sesame Street as a kid. That was one of my favorite shows. And now you look into it and see what it really was. It was just grooming. It was just grooming. Mr. Rogers. It was just grooming. That's all it was. To get you to accept that ultra side, the far side of that whole idea concept, just to get that indoctrinated in at an early age. So when all those things start to happen and come into fruition, you accept it easier. It's okay, that's normal. That's from my childhood. That's got to be a good thing. Okay. And then to top it all off, after finding out all that about Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood and all that kind of stuff, the movie that was just made, who played Mr. freaking Rogers?
I do not know.
1, 2, 3, Tom Hanks.
Oh.
Yep, Tom Hanks played Mr. Rogers in the latest remake of Mr. Rogers' movie or Mr. Rogers' universe, whatever the heck they're calling it these days.
He gives me the heebie-jeebies.
Yeah. Well, who knows if this guy's even around anymore? There was plenty of evidence that this guy isn't even around anymore.
Yeah.
But
Spanx. Oh, there was Prince Andrew was served today, charges against him for what were the actual charges?
Was it child endangerment? It was did you send me that too?
It was, yeah, hold on, here we go. Officially charged with sexual assault lawsuit.
Oh, that's even better.
I wonder why it wasn't child.
Did it say who it was involving? Was it involving
Virginia? Virginia.
Oh.
Roberts.
Oh, really?
Jeffrey, or however you pronounce her last name.
Well, then that's the tie to the island. So this is island. This is Jeffrey's Island coming into mainstream right now, because that's where their connection is, right?
Yes.
That's the only connection that they have. They in that hellhole, demon island.
Yep.
Wow.
So this has actually happened. And it says the attorney provided photos of FedEx receipts confirming delivery of the lawsuit to the attorney for Prince Andrew. And then, so there we go. And she was abused by the Duke of York when she was underage.
Pretty
And this is
interesting.
Queen Elizabeth's son. So.
And remember a while back, a year ago, or so maybe 2 years ago now, this was like, no way, can't happen. These people are, no, it's not happening. Well, here we are. We're here now.
Yeah.
We're here now. This is a direct tie between the Queenie and that disgusting island.
Mm-hmm.
And
also Gates was interviewed and they asked him directly about Epstein, and he got really nervous, and his response was, well, he's dead now. And then they were like, okay, but don't you regret having dealings with him? And he just kind of like hem-hawed around about it. It was super, super weird. This stuff is coming out. That's where when people are like, oh, they'll never be held accountable, it's never going to come out, all this, it is coming out.
It's starting. It's
absolutely
slow, starting.
But it's happening.
And then we learned who owned or was a part owner in the island next to Jeffrey's Island down there. I don't remember who it was, but it was somebody we all know. It was it one of the senators? One of the
I don't know that.
If anyone in the chat remembers who's the owner of the island next to either it's Big St. James or Little St. whatever one it was. Who is it? Oh, I just tried to look it up, and of course you can't actually find anything online when you need to find it. But yeah, that was one of the names that we absolutely know actually owns the island next door. The Speaker of the House. That is, I think, who it was. Not
Pelosi?
It wasn't Pelosi. It was a guy, wasn't it? Wasn't it like Schumer or
Schumer?
Yeah, like one of those people had some interest in owning the a percentage of the next island over. And we all know about the tunnels over there, and we all know that the one chick, the head witch chick, she had a submarine license.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like, why do you need a submarine? Yeah, first of all, do you guys know anybody that has a submarine license?
I do not know anyone.
Because I don't know. I know, but apparently all these socialites, they like to get submarine licenses.
I think it's weird that they have a license.
Right. Bye, Claire.
Like, bye, Claire. Have a great day. She's going to work.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right.
Here's the other thing that's cool. They've proven that the Hunter Biden laptop, that they've confirmed the emails from Hunter Biden laptops are true.
Oh.
And so Rudy is like, when do I get an apology for claiming I was dealing Russian disinformation? So that's another thing that's coming out, another conspiracy theory that's now true. Politico reporter confirms emails from Hunter Biden's laptop.
Which one? Didn't he lose 2 or 3 of them? You know, these laptops. And what was the most recent one that the Russian people stole in Vegas?
Yeah, I think it's the one with the where he was like pouring his heart out to the prostitute or whatever. It was the one where he's thanking the Ukrainian businessman, thanking him for the chance to meet Joe Biden. Let's see. A person who had independent access to Hunter Biden's emails confirmed he did receive a 2015 email from Ukrainian businessman thanking him for the chance to meet Joe Biden. Same goes for a 2017 email, which he proposed equity breakdown of a venture with a Chinese energy executive, includes the line, quote, 10 held by H for the big guy. Politico said the source, quote, recalled seeing both emails, but was not in a position to compare the leaked emails word for word to the originals. So
I'm reading here in the chat, this Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, crypto, silver, with the Guy Fawkes mask here, saying Google Translate from French to English, James Elephantis, spelled properly. It literally means I love children.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Holy cow.
And that's the guy who owned, that's the guy who owned pizza. What was it called?
Planet Pizza or something?
Comet.
No, Comet Ping Pong. That's what it was. That supposedly had the rooms in the basement.
Yes.
Where there are pictures. I've seen pictures of him working in the basement before when they took the property over. There's pictures of them building the basement out with dirt floors and everything, building trenches and what they called drainage pits. That gives a whole new meaning.
We talk about,
yeah. That gives a whole new meaning to the term rage room.
Yeah. Disgusting.
It's really, man.
They're really disgusting people.
Shout out to the chat. Some excellent information coming out here. A whole bunch of new people here today. Some names I haven't seen. Very cool, guys. Thank you. I did say, I'm sorry. I don't even realize what I said. Now I feel like terrible. Sorry.
You're okay. The truth will come out. The truth will set us free, right?
I hope so. I mean, yes, but it's just a matter of when and how much, butt kicking it's going to hurt, in the meantime. What was that you sent earlier about one of the Native American tribes, nations here?
We've got to go here pretty soon, but yeah. So I'm in Oklahoma, and the irony of this, because if you think about, there was a meme that said, if you think that your government won't make you sick or get you sick with a virus, I've got some blankets to sell you. And there's been some wild things happening in Oklahoma with, when Trump was here, I don't want to go into a whole big thing, but the Indian nations have been given back some of their sovereignty here in Oklahoma. They've been, and it's caused some difficult things with some of the laws around here. And anyway, we could do a whole nother show on all that. But so this came out today and said, the facility is open to all. The price of the treatment is borne by the federal funding. According to the Muskogee Creek, which this is in Tulsa, this is the Muskogee Nation. This is more than half of the state is Muskogee Creek Nation. The Muskogee Creek Nation offers Regeneron monoclonal, I don't know how you say that.
Monoclonal, yeah.
Thank you. Monoclonal antibody treatment. So it's open to all. You do not have to be Indian. But how ironic that although the government made the Indian nations sick, now they're being given the treatment, the cure. Why will this not load?
Because they don't want it to.
Hold on. This is really frustrating. It's like just sitting there. Okay, there it goes. Muskogee Creek Nation offers Regeneron. And this is what Trump took, remember?
Yep.
And then he got out, and remember how young he looked? And he was like, I feel so much better.
He said, I feel 20 years younger is what he said.
Yeah. Regeneron.
And that's when, yep.
Treatments. The treatment is highly effective in reducing hospitalizations and death if administered early in the course of the disease, which I think it's interesting that they're calling it a disease, because a virus is not a disease. A virus is an illness, not a disease.
Okay. Yeah, that's something I've noticed a lot too lately, where they sneak things in there that takes our understanding of something or our assumptions of something
Right.
and
disease
uses that against
is
us.
is a like cancer or something like that. Not anyway. So this is if caught early, you know what? Doctors can aggressively treat the disease by giving a patient an infusion of monoclonal antibodies, essentially man-made versions of the antibodies the body would produce normally if humans had immunity to the virus. This week, the Muskogee Creek Nation announced it's offering the Regeneron monoclonal antibody regimen as its new facility, Council Oak Comprehensive Healthcare. The facility was formerly occupied by a cancer treatment clinic. What? And when the Creek Nation purchased it, Secretary of Health Sean Terry was touring the building with State Secretary of Health Lance Fry. Secretary tells KRMG, which KRMG is where I just did my interview with Matt Moore.
Good, very good interview.
Yeah, infusion. Thank you. The infusion chairs remarking they didn't know what they were going to do with these infusion chairs. So, what if all these cancer centers aren't needed anymore and we can use them to treat people? I'm getting chills with things like this.
There you go.
It was Dr. Fry, he says, who came up with the idea of a monoclonal antibody infusion center. No one will be charged for this drug. The cost of Regeneron and much labor involved is covered by the federal government. You got to
really
be
cool.
kidding me.
That's something to keep in mind for sure. So gone are the days of driving into the reservations to get cheap cigarettes. I mean, now you're going to go in there and do some pretty magical things. Let's say that. I don't want to, get us in trouble by saying what I think.
Yeah,
you can do, but I think you're going to go in there and you're going to come out a different person for the better. I was just looking at the chat too here. Both Tom and I believe it was Alicia. Was it Alicia?
And is today Trini's birthday? I saw people saying happy birthday. I know his birthday's coming up.
Yeah, I do know it's coming up. I'm not exactly sure when. Jenny Alicia wrote, 2 months ago she had the bug and she didn't do shit except take vitamins, honey, lemon, ginger, turmeric, and make sure she was super healthy before she even got sick. That's a very good one. Tom wrote before that he took his part of his treatment when he had it was the chlorine dioxide. It turned it around really quickly for him. So there are ways of turning illnesses around, whether these illnesses are natural illnesses or tinkered with weaponization, bugs or whatever they're doing. Because, you could read all sorts of where these bugs are coming from and how they came and when they came and what they were for. The one thing,
exciting. Oh, look, Litecoin is breaking out.
Is it really?
That's what Latoshi says.
Nice.
Yes, it's Trini's birthday. Happy birthday, Trini man.
Happy birthday, Trini brah. Everything I read, man.
And for your birthday, just so you know, I put your name on the list that if in some wild chance you could join us, I put your name on the list. So
very cool. That's awesome.
You can join us. If you can't, you can't, but I went ahead and put your name on the list. So
come on, I said I'll buy you a drink, whatever you want at the free bar.
I'll buy you one too.
It would be a great.
I'm paying for all of them, so
yay! I'm already planning. I'm going to start watering down Pimpy's drinks when he's not looking.
Yeah, you better do something.
Hold on, Pimpy. I'll go get around for you and dump half out and pour some water in first. I'm so excited now. So tomorrow's the last full day. 2 more sleeps and then we're there.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
It is going to be great. I'm so excited. So there's a pool that we can't swim in, but we can go hang around the pool. There's an open bar.
Yeah, there's an outdoor area. You can kind of mingle. by a pool, and then there's the indoor area, and then we're like overlooking the Dallas skyline.
Gorgeous. I can't wait. It's supposed to be hot though. I looked up the weather to see how I should pack. I'm like, should I get the luggage and pay for to check
Dallas.
the luggage and everything? Yeah, it's like, well, I've never been to Dallas. It's gonna be like 90 something the whole time. So I'm like, I'll just bring a backpack. I'll just pack shorts and a backpack. I'm good.
Perfect.
Jim Montgomery says, Lisa, can we donate to the meetup? And how, please? Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Jim. Yeah, if you want to donate to help me cover expenses, you can check out the links in the description. There's my PayPal tip jar, and there is a Cointree link that you can give to the, I've got all my, my coins linked in there. So I have wallets in there.
Mm-hmm.
We can do that too.
Very cool.
So thankfully, and Westwood has the location for the crypto class, which he will post on clintwestwood.net. If you guys are looking at joining the Crypto 101 class on Saturday, you can go to clintwestwood.net and we'll get that.
Phil wrote, Litecoin's up 6.9% as we're talking. Didn't we get a little bump last week when we were speaking? I think we did.
I don't remember. Maybe.
Yeah, I think it started to run up.
Usually, like when we all get together too, like when we're at meetups or when we all go to Westwood, there'll be like a little.
Yep. That's the good magic being worked, the good focusing of the energy, the benevolent use of their magic.
Well, that's what when we were a little late, and that's my fault because we were wrapping up with SL and Jill on the price predictions video.
Well, plus I had to restart the computer 3 times.
Well, that too, but for the price predictions for Jill and SL on Patreon, and Jill was really talking about like collective consciousness and how important it is to like have that gratitude kind of attitude, and that how focusing on that kind of when you start having that negative fear kind of thing, how that can really dial down, and just kind of like backing out and zooming out and just understanding where we are at this time. And can you imagine if you only knew the dirty fiat system and you were trapped in that system of fear, and you really believed what was going on the TV right now, and you really believed, you know what I mean? Like, be so grateful that we know there's a bigger picture here, and that we have these other options, and we know about sovereign money. We understand about having your assets in your own possession. Like, I think we all need to be like, whew, we're in a really good place, and we have each other. We have this community of, light and love and caring for each other. So
it's those the collective conscious can go both ways. It's praying, and it's also black magic. You can use it for good purposes. You can put positive energy out there, and you can also put negative energy out there. You can pray that bad things happen, and it's not, I don't want to call it praying because that's a godly thing, but it's certainly enough people sitting around either worrying or simply just focusing on something negative, and the energy will flow towards that way. We are but little semiconductors, little supercomputers ourselves, with the DNA as our little antennas, and the electrical currents of the ethers and of the universe, it does flow through us. So when there's one of us with bad thoughts, like have you ever gone in a room or gone to somebody's house and they might be having an argument, or they just had a really bad day, and you can feel it as soon as you walk in the house, right? It's the same with something that's really joyous and beautiful and wonderful. Somebody has a baby, somebody gets married. You walk in the room, you can have your eyes closed. It just feels good, right? So we can propagate that. We can continue the good to go forward. But if we're of a lower vibration, or of a slower, sadder, more downtime in our lives, it's the other way. And we have to watch. We are so much more powerful when we are so much more powerful than we understand. Even the best of the best, we really don't understand how powerful we are and how strong our intentions and our focusing our energy on where we want to be. That's, the old mantras, some people think a mantra or waking up and just doing something simple like giving gratitude. Okay, you do it a couple times. You didn't win the lottery. You're not driving your dream car at this point. You're not going to give up on it. It's, slow and steady wins that race for sure, I believe. And over time, if you keep a positive mind and just do things little by little by little, changing little thought processes, stopping yourself from thinking something bad or continuing a mindset that's not healthy or that is more negative than it should be, we need to just, we can step out of the system and out of the how we've learned how these things work, and we can just take it little piece by piece by piece. No, I'm going to choose not to be upset about this. I'm going to stop. I'm going to be joyous about this.
It is a choice. I think it is what you're saying, that choice. It's that choose joy every day. Like, you can choose to focus on, you can stub your toe and choose to focus on that, or you can be like, ooh, okay, I'm still walking, and what are we moving towards? You know what I mean? Like, you can choose joy every day. You can find that bright spot in your day, because we all have pain in our life. We all have negative things, but you can choose joy every day. And there's a bright spot in somewhere in your day. And I'm not saying that to diminish the struggles that we all go through.
They're real. They are real, and they hurt.
They're real. Yeah. But that does not benefit you to focus on that or to give that energy. It's important to acknowledge it and to see it, because I think if seeing that, we've all had those dark spots and places and all that. And if anything, seeing that helps you appreciate the positive and the good and the joy in your life. You definitely need to experience and see and appreciate the dark spots in your life, but don't dwell on that. Don't give that your energy. Acknowledge it, but focus on and give your energy to the joy and the love and the positive things in your life. So.
Yep. Be mindful, be in the moment. Your thoughts do matter. Our thoughts do matter. When you're living in the moment, you're more careful to not just do what you've been doing. You're more careful to maybe stop yourself and think, is this the best way to do this? Am I getting anything out of this? Or are we just going to be on autopilot? Even the best of us, even, the most high, holy people or shamans, they'll still, can still get brought down every now and then, but we're mindful each thing, and we stop and think, and we live in that moment. I'm sitting here right now. Am I sitting in a comfortable position? Am I hunched over? Sure, I have a really bad back. I have fibromyalgia. I'll notice myself leaning over so much sometimes, and you don't realize it. And then you're like, my back is bothering you. This sucks. You stand up, you stop, you take a minute, you breathe it in and out of you. Your back feeling better already, and then you're going forward in your day with not with that dragging that weight. I've always equated it to dragging a freaking anchor, to dragging a big giant ball and chain like you used to see in the commercials where they slap the thing around the guy's ankle and he's got this big giant heavy steel bowling ball, and he's dragging it around. That's the little tiny negative things throughout the day that you're not letting go. I believe, you can see, you can think different ways. I just truly believe when we're in the moment and we're being mindful of what we're doing, it's much easier to stop and to break that cycle or to break that connection with something that you don't like or something that's negative and replace it. Just, it doesn't have to be this big monumental change or this big shift. It's okay. I'm not going to let, that guy who cut me off, instead of driving a car and, giving him the, the Jersey salute, right? You're just going to laugh. He must have had a bad day today. I feel bad for him. I hope he has a better day, and let it go. Forget about it. Done. When you hold on to that, it does stay. It sits on your back, and then other bad things go to it. If you start in the morning and your shoulder hurts, by the end of the day, if you're not paying attention, your whole back can be hurting, and you could be all off to the side like this. But if you handle each little one, No, that's something I can't stress enough because it's
They
made a
say
world of a
it,
difference for me
like
personally.
acknowledge it and send it with love.
Sure,
You
sure.
know,
And what does that mean? That might mean something different to everyone else, right?
that's
That
true.
each one of us, that might mean something different to. But acknowledging it, bringing it, speaking it. Sometimes just speaking. Sometimes just speaking something that isn't sitting good with you, and just saying the words releases it. You can sit and work and think about it. Think about how upset you are, or vice versa. You can think, okay, I'm just going to let this go. I'm just going to let this go.
Right.
But yet it's still kind of that programming, that energetic imprint of whatever that was is still on you. It's like you got to get it off. And just let it go, and then you say it. Boy, that guy's a jerk. You say it out loud. That guy was a jerk. I'm not going to let him bother me. And then you see, you've released that. You've scraped that little barnacle off of you. You've scraped that leech off of you. That's made a world of a difference for me in every way. And if there's one thing I can always try and tell people that's touched me the most in my life, that's made the biggest changes, slow and steady wins the race. The biggest improvements of my life have just been made by staying in the moment right now, being grateful, saying thank you, and letting anything go that doesn't bother you. It's energy. Energy can stick. Just like you hear of poltergeists and bad ghosts, and they can haunt your house, and you hear all these stories. They don't get out, and you have to have a priest to come in and exorcise the house and all this kind of stuff. It's just sticky energy. Energy can be sticky, good and bad. You can have good memories that last your whole life from when you're a child, and every time you think about it, you can sit and focus on it, and you'll get a smile. You're like, we all have that childhood memories where we can look back and say, and you think about that time for Christmas when one time I got a Red Ryder BB gun from the Christmas Story movie. And it was like the best Christmas. And this thing that tells time. I got it. I got that one, like the real one. I'm smiling. It still brings joy to my face. But I can also think of some garbage that happened to me last November, and it hurts my guts. It makes my stomach sick. Energy can be sticky. What are you going to do? Are you going to let it stick on you, or are you going to try and let it go? What are you going to do? It's our choice. We are in full control. I believe we are in full control of our own happiness, of our own, you hear these horror stories about people who have just gone through hell in their life, just loss after loss and tragedy and trauma. And you look at them and they're smiling and their eyes are glistening and they're just happy. It's their choice to let that go. It's all in us. It's all within us for whatever we want to put out there and whatever we want to be. I believe it.
Well said, my brother. Well, I'm excited to see you this weekend. I'm excited to see all of our friends that are coming to the meetup. I appreciate everybody that's contributing to make it a success, and everybody that's jumping in and being a part of it. I'm really thrilled. I'm putting together all of my things that we're going to be giving away for, we always do raffle tickets, and I bring a bunch of swag. Monarch donates tons of stuff. I've got shirts and socks and hats, and I'm going to bring some C60 that I've got donated from C60. If you guys are C60 fans, you can purchase your C60 with my link. That we also get a kickback from them if you use my link, so that supports the channel. Nice hat, Public.
Yep.
Very nice.
I do love this hat. This is one of my favorite hats, actually.
Satoshi Sean is donating a copper coin. I think he created them. He's shipping them all to my house. So everybody that attends the event is getting a copper coin from Satoshi Sean.
That's super cool.
There's all kinds of cool stuff that we've got at this event. Open bar and a bunch of hors d'oeuvres and Westwood.
And our friends.
Hugs. All our friends, yeah.
And our friends. And a little tiny break from reality. Just a little break to get away, to clear your mind, have a great time with it. And like you said, Westwood hugs. Just be careful. Go slow. You might get crushed. You might get crushed.
You might get crushed by a Westwood hug. Yeah. And if you are looking for information for the Crypto 101 class, go to clintwestwood.net. He will have the information for the location for that. I think he said it's like Country Club Drive something. I don't know. He got that all set up. Thank goodness I totally
Very
dropped the
cool.
ball on that one. So he's got that all figured out for Saturday in the Dallas area. So we will see everybody this weekend. And then we're already booked into, Johnny's got us all hooked up for the Jersey meetup. We're going to be celebrating my birthday on October 15th in the Jersey area. That information is on
There's Washington, New Jersey,
westwood.net.
which now I just want to, anybody who's listening,
Township, Washington.
there's the Township of Washington, there's Washington Township, there's Washington, New Jersey. There's a lot of different Washington, New Jerseys. What you guys want is the one in Bergen County, and it's near Route 4. So that's what you
go
want.
To clintwestwood.net, and he has a link to the restaurant where we will be. There are no tickets. It's just a free, open to the public event. We want as many people there as we can. We're going to have a great time, and I'm looking forward to seeing everybody. So I'll be giving gifts away for my birthday. So it'll be great. See you guys next time. Tomorrow will I be here? I think we'll be here doing a show with Johnny Litecoin. I don't think we're traveling yet. So see you guys on the new normal tomorrow. Take care.